Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is in Japan ahead of a pivotal summit. The heart of Toronto throbs proudly with Indigenous culture.
And if we do that, I don't think it's asking too much for people to follow our laws.
Democratic hopefuls face off in a feisty TV debate. Humber News starts now. Hi, I'm Sue Kustrick, coming to you from our newsroom at Humber's North Campus. It's Thursday, June 27th. Here is what's making news this hour. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is in Osaka, Japan for the G20 Summit today. Likely, top of his agenda is the frosty relationship with China, but President Xi Jinping has refused to meet with Trudeau. Trudeau is looking to press for the release of 2 Canadians jailed by China. Earlier this week, China blocked imports of Canadian meat products, demanding the release of Huawei executive Meng Wanzhou. The Canadian delegation is relying on President Donald Trump and Canada's other allies to raise the issue with China. Trudeau is expected to meet with European leaders on Friday to discuss a range of issues including climate change. American Democrats took the stage last night to debate the future of the country with hopes of defeating President Donald Trump in 2020. 10 of the 20 candidates have had their say on some of the biggest issues facing the United States, including healthcare and immigration. The 2-hour debate showcased a different Democratic Party, a party significantly shifted to the political left. Former Vice President Joe Biden and Senator Bernie Sanders are among the remaining candidates who will face off tonight. Justin Moet has more details on the story.
10 American Democrats faced off in a televised debate last night, officially kicking off the race to oust Republican President Donald Trump from power. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren, who has been surging in opinion polls, took center stage.
Where I want to start this is I want to return government to the people, and that means calling out the names of the monopolists and saying I have the courage to go after them.
She felt fiery competition from former Texas Congressman Beto O'Rourke, who gained popularity in last November's midterm elections when he came close to unseating Senator Ted Cruz. New Jersey Senator Cory Booker was also on stage to tackle issues including health care reform, immigration, and the economy. Lower polling candidates used the debate to gain recognition, such as Hawaii Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard and New York Mayor Bill de Blasio.
Pain and their challenges for all the American citizens out there who feel you're falling behind, who feel the American dream's not working for you. The immigrants didn't do that to you. The big corporations did that to you.
It was also an opportunity to try out some political zingers.
If billionaires can pay off their yachts, students should be able to pay off their student loans.
President Trump, on the other hand, expressed his disinterest in the debate on Twitter and opted to instead meet with troops in Alaska on his way to the G20 Summit in Japan.
I think they're all going to do very poorly.
Part 2 of the Democratic debate will take place tonight, featuring presidential hopefuls including Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders. Justin Mowat, Humber News.
Allegations continue to emerge within the Ontario Premier's office as Doug Ford dismisses another top official. The scope of Ford's review of government appointments has now grown to include lawyer Andrew Seabok. Seabok's role as the chair of the committee which appoints justice of the peace is under examination because of his connections to Ford's former top advisor, Dean French. French resigned last week just hours after the Premier cancelled appointments of agents general to New York and London. Ford was elected with a promise to clean up supposed patronage at Queen's Park. Also in Toronto, people around the city joined together to celebrate Indigenous History Month. It was the 9th annual celebration of the event. Michelle Guo reports.
Indigenous History Month celebrations took place yesterday at Toronto's Yonge and Dundas Square with various dance and music performances, including a powwow and the Toronto Métis Jiggers.
We're just here to celebrate being Indigenous today.
The celebration reflected on the history of Indigenous people while recognizing traditions and reclaiming the many aspects of Indigenous culture.
A long time ago, residential schools wanted to kill the native or the Indian, so they didn't want us to speak at all in our languages. They didn't want us to have long hair. But I think it's really good to have like a lot of more like news and all that to like focus more like on our, I guess like our language.
The Canadian government formed the Truth and Reconciliation Commission to redress the legacy of residential schools. The commission included 94 calls to action within their findings. One of the calls to action refers to increasing funding for education of Indigenous languages in schools. UNESCO declared 2019 as International Year of Indigenous Languages to raise awareness of the role that languages have in everyday life.
It should be, instead of only French in schools, it should be another Aboriginal language so you have an option to take, right?
Although June is National Indigenous Month in Canada, some people feel that there should be more celebrations and events across the nation and besides just in Toronto.
They only have Aboriginal Day, not Aboriginal Month in Vancouver. So it's kind of interesting to know that there is a month dedicated for that, for my people.
Here at Indigenous History Month celebrations at Yonge and Dundas Square, there seems to be a lot of singing, dancing, and celebrating. Vendors are also here for people to purchase different Indigenous-themed items. For Humber News, I'm Michelle Glove.
Toronto police are looking for the public's help in identifying a male suspect wanted in connection with a gas station robbery earlier this month.
On June 13, 2019, at approximately 4:08 a.m., a male entered a gas station kiosk in the area of Sherbourne Street and Front Street East in the City of Toronto. The suspect immediately jumped over the counter and confronted the gas station employee at knife point.
In the surveillance footage, the suspect empties the cash register as the employee backs away and lies on the ground. In an unprovoked attack, the suspect violently stomps on the employee's head 4 times before jumping over the counter and exiting the gas station. The suspect is described as a black male, around 5'8" to 5'10", and has a thin athletic build.
Working the night shift, trying to put himself through school. And the level of violence seen in this particular robbery is extremely disturbing. So we are truly hoping that somebody from the public, upon watching this video, may be able to provide us some information that will help us identify this suspect and bring him before the courts.
We are going to take a quick break. Still ahead, the latest in sports. But first, Cheng has a preview of your 3-day forecast.
The long weekends is a mix of sunny and rain. So don't forget to have a proper gear for the weather before you're going out for Canada Day celebrations. I will be back with a 3-day weather forecast. Till then, stay tuned to Humber News.